Once upon a time, on the edge of a quiet village nestled between rolling hills and sparkling streams, lived a curious little girl named Ilara. Ilara was no ordinary child. She had a gift. Ever since she was a baby, she could see stars even in the daytime. Not just in the sky but everywhere. Little star-shaped glimmers in puddles, on leaves, in the flicker of a butterfly's wings, and even in her bowl of soup. She always felt they were speaking to her in their quiet, shimmering way. One night, as Ilara lay in bed, she noticed a particularly bright star twinkling in the sky. It was bigger and closer than the others, almost as if it were looking straight at her. "Ilara," the star seemed to say, "would you like to come on an adventure?" Ilara blinked, sure she must be dreaming, but then the star grew even brighter, lighting up her whole room. She couldn't resist the invitation. She quickly slipped into her favorite striped pajamas, tied her soft green scarf around her neck, and quietly climbed out of her window. As her feet touched the grass, the star stretched a golden ladder down from the sky, stopping just in front of her. She took a deep breath and climbed up, up into the heavens. As soon as she reached the top of the ladder, Ilara found herself on a vast, glittering path made entirely of stardust. The stars above her sparkled and pulsed, humming with the most beautiful music she'd ever heard. She felt weightless, as if she were floating through the night itself. Then, out of the shimmering stardust, a tall, gentle figure emerged. It was a woman with flowing silver hair that looked like a waterfall of light, and she wore a cloak stitched from fragments of galaxies. Her eyes sparkled with kindness and mystery. "Hello, Ilara," the woman said softly. "I am the Starcatcher. I guide young travelers on their journeys across the stars. Tonight you are invited to join me. We have many places to visit, and many dreams to inspire." Ilara felt her heart swell with excitement. She took the Starcatcher's hand, and together they soared down the stardust path, zooming past planets with rings that spun like merry-go-rounds and through clouds of colorful nebulae that drifted like cotton candy in space. The first stop was the land of lost wishes. Here, tiny wishes that had been whispered into the wind but forgotten floated gently like soap bubbles. Some wishes were as simple as, "I wish for a new puppy," while others were grand and daring, like, "I wish to travel to the moon." "Every wish holds a spark of magic," explained the Starcatcher, "but they need someone to remember them. Would you like to catch a few?" Ilara stretched out her hand, and soon it was full of tiny, glowing bubbles. She looked at each one closely, marveling at the little hopes and dreams inside them. Carefully, she picked a wish that glowed a little brighter than the others and held it close to her heart. "I'll remember you," she whispered, and the wish sparkled even brighter before floating off into the sky, finally freed to find its way. Next, they traveled to the Gardens of Glowing Dreams, a place where dreams blossomed like flowers. Each dream was unique. One glowed a soft pink and looked like a bird with musical notes for wings, while another had the shape of a dragon breathing golden fire. "Why do these dreams take such strange forms?" Ilara asked. "Dreams are like seeds planted by our thoughts and feelings," replied the Starcatcher. "They grow in many forms, sometimes wild and strange, but each one is precious. Would you like to plant one of your own?" Ilara nodded, feeling a warmth spread through her chest. She closed her eyes and thought of the biggest, brightest dream she could imagine. A world where everyone could travel among the stars, where magic was as close as a touch and kindness was everywhere. When she opened her eyes, she gasped. Before her was a tree, its leaves shimmering with tiny constellations. Little lights danced around it, lighting up the dark sky. The Starcatcher smiled. "Your dream is beautiful, Ilara. It will grow and inspire others as they journey through the stars." They continued their adventure, visiting the Lake of Forgotten Stories, where tales that hadn't been told drifted like lotus flowers on still water, waiting for someone to bring them to life. Ilara picked one and read a story about a brave fox and a wise turtle who had saved an entire village by sharing their clever ideas. Finally, they arrived at the fields of future stars, where new stars were born. These stars were tiny and looked like little balls of light, floating gently in the cosmic breeze. The Starcatcher handed Ilara a net made from moonbeams. "Would you like to catch a future star?" she asked. Ilara caught one and held it close, feeling its warmth. The Starcatcher explained that every star was connected to a child back on Earth, and each one held a bright potential. A talent, a kindness, or a courage that would someday shine in the world. "This one will be yours, Ilara," said the Starcatcher. "It will remind you that you carry the light of the stars within you, and you can share it with the world." With her heart brimming with wonder and joy, Ilara thanked the Starcatcher. She wished she could stay forever, exploring the mysteries of the universe. But the Starcatcher gently reminded her that morning was coming, and it was time to return home. Ilara climbed back down the golden ladder, the future star glowing softly in her hands. She slipped back into her room just as the first rays of dawn were peeking through her window. She placed the star on her bedside table, and as she watched, it melted into a tiny silver pendant, hanging from a chain of stardust. She put it around her neck, feeling its warmth close to her heart. As she drifted off to sleep, Ilara knew that she would never forget the wonders she'd seen, and the Starcatcher's words echoed in her mind. "The light of the stars is within you, Ilara. Let it guide you, and you will inspire others to dream." From that day forward, Ilara carried her little pendant wherever she went, and whenever she felt unsure or afraid, she would hold it tightly. She knew that the universe was vast and full of mysteries, and even though she was just a small girl in a small village, she had the courage to dream big, to remember the forgotten wishes, to grow her hopes like the brightest constellations, and to inspire others to do the same. And every night, when she looked up at the stars, she wondered if the Starcatcher was out there, guiding another dreamer through the wonders of the universe.